Hello and welcome to another session on Publishers Without Borders, where today we're delighted to be joined by the President of the Federation of European Publishers, Rudy Vanchenbeek, who will be joining us for the announcement of the winners of the European Prize for Literature. So let's meet Rudy and find out a little bit more about the prize. So Rudy, tell us all about the prize and who is participating this year.
Hi, Emma. Good afternoon to everyone. I'm delighted to be here and to be announcing the winners within a quarter of an hour, I think. The prize started 12 years ago, so it's a relatively young prize in cooperation with the Booksellers Association and the Writers Federation. So it's publishers, writers, and booksellers together with Creative Europe from the European Commission, promoting translation of every European language throughout the world. That's the aim of the prize. We have 40 or 41 members. So it's not only the European community, but also other countries joining in. And every year we have 13 laureates. So there's a 3 years change for every country to have a winner.
So 13 winners every year from different countries.
From different countries all over Europe. Yeah.
Has it always been 13, Rudy?
Yeah, I think it's always been 13. Yeah.
And so it works on a rotation. How were the first 13 chosen 12 years ago? What was the criteria then?
I'm not sure about that. I cannot answer that question, but I think that it has been a kind of random choice.
Okay.
Because there is a certainty that every 3 years, as a country, you're part of the game in the competition.
So I understand that it's with the 13 countries, you assemble a panel of judges from each country, and then within that country, a shortlist is selected. And we played the shortlist video last week. And then from that shortlist, a winner from each country is chosen. So when you talk about a laureate, that's the winner from each particular country. Is that correct?
Every national jury has 5 members that are professionals, that can be a publisher, a journalist, or you name it. They make indeed a shortlist and then a winner. So 13 national juries select 13 laureates. And the authors have to be emerging authors, so they shouldn't have published more than, let's say, 3 or 4 books.
Okay.
It can be a debut author, but it also can be someone who has been publishing 3 or 4 books and has not been translated that much, because the aim of the prize is to stimulate translations in Europe and far beyond.
So what vehicles do you use to stimulate those translations, Rudy? How does the prize work in practice for stimulating those translations?
Well, we try to promote it throughout the year. We're announcing the shortlist, announcing the start of a new competition year. Every winner gets a prize, a financial prize of 5,000 euros, which is interesting to my humble opinion.
Yeah.
And,
a lot of money.
And we also have a ceremony that is now planned for the 29th of September, depending on how Corona will affect, of course, the agenda. The ceremony is held at Beaux-Arts in Brussels, one of the artistic temples of Brussels.
Yeah, beautiful.
Last year, for example, I think some 800 people were attending the show, where the laureates are presented and have the opportunity to present their work. And we also publish a compilation of the work in the original language and a translation of a 5-page in English. That's a book.
And that's just for the winners, is it? The anthology is just of the winners?
It's just the winners. So the 13 winners are publicated there. We distribute it to members of parliament, publishers in Europe, editors, you name it, translators. And we also have available a 50 page, I think, translation into English for publishers who are interested to consider buying translation rights.
So I have a question for you, Rudy. How do you end up on the long list or the short list? Do you submit yourself? Does a publisher submit the names of their books? How does that work? Say I'm in Latvia, and I'm part of the competition. How does that work?
Yeah, we make a call to publishers, and I guess in the meantime, most publishers know the prize and know it's important to submit candidates. I also think that the juries are allowed to call for any title that perhaps hasn't been submitted. So
Okay.
we try to be as complete as possible, and then the jury has one or several rounds of discussion to make selection into the shortlist.
And are the short lists announced together? I mean, the secret is kept till the very last moment. The UK publishers don't announce theirs before the Belgium ones.
No, it's a simultaneous announcement. All 13 countries simultaneously. Yeah.
So it sounds like this really is a great talent spotting field of writers that people can go to if they're looking for emerging talent and great new talent in writing from different countries, not just in Europe, as you say, but from outside Europe as well, to translate and publish in their own language. It's a wealth of information at your fingertips, really.
That's what I learned from the last 12 years, let's say. You learn to know new authors that are awarded, so that makes it special anyway. There has been a competition, so as a publisher, you look at it at this more thoroughly. It's also a good opportunity to learn about cultural difference between habits and ways and style of writing.
And reading as well, I guess, as to what's popular in the country. Because what genres are eligible within the criteria?
Sorry, pardon?
What genres are eligible within the criteria? Is it fiction, non-fiction? Is it children's? Who's the prize aimed at?
It's fiction, so it's prose.
Just fiction.
It's literary fiction.
All right. And do you have any témoignages? Do you have any events that have occurred in the past that demonstrate the value of a prize like this in terms of visibility for authors or publishers, or books that have been picked up and are now translated in other languages? Do you have any?
Yeah, sure. Last year we had a very interesting workshop with, for example, Nina George, the president of the Writers Federation and a very best-selling, well-known author herself, together with some laureates of past years, explaining to the laureates of that year what the prize has done with their works and with their lives. And I was amazed how it made a difference for them, because they, some of them were translated into 7 languages or even more. And part of being translated is that these authors travel to other countries throughout Europe or the rest of the world to talk about their works. So it's not only being available in bookshops, but also creating events at book fairs anywhere, or bookshops anywhere. Apart from that, we also have online events, such as this event itself is an example to promote to spread the news about EUPL.
Excellent.
And you say it's a collaboration between writers, publishers, and booksellers. Those are European associations, I understand.
Yeah, booksellers and writers are even internationally organized, but the cooperation with Creative Europe implies that we stick to European members to be into the competition. But it's the three of us working together quite some years now, and very smoothly. So it's a very nice cooperation, to be honest.
And some of our listeners may not know what the Federation of European Publishers is, and we've had a couple of sessions so far with the International Publishers Association. How does the FEP and the IPA compare with each other? What is FEP?
Well, FEP is a organization that has 29 members, all members from the European, from Europe. You don't have to be a member of the European community. For example, the UK, who has decided to leave the European community. On the other hand, the UKPA, so the Publishers Association in England, has very firmly confirmed to be part of to stay part of FEP. So we also have Slovenia, Latvia. I myself am a Belgian publisher publishing in the Dutch language. There's Italy, there's Spain, of course. So apart from some countries, I think Swiss is not a member of FEP, but this are member of FEP. While IPA, the International Publishers Association, is really looking into affairs and issues having an international dimension. Our specialty or our issue is everything that has to do with European legislation, possibilities, promotion throughout the European community.
Just to push that one a little further, do you, within the European Federation, do you have, for example, the Dutch and the French Publishers Association from Belgium members of the, or is it?
Yeah, well, normally there's one organization, a member of FEP, okay, which we investigate that it's the leading organization into the country. Okay. Belgium has always been a well, surrealist country, as you know. We're a bit special, perhaps in the center of Europe, and because we are a founding member of FEP more than 50 years ago, we are allowed as an exception to have the Dutch-speaking federation and the French-speaking federation into the organization. But to be sure, we cooperate very well. No discussion, as you perhaps can imagine, between Walloons and Flemish people. No fight, whatever. We have we have common ground, of course, as we have throughout Europe.
The Flemish publishers were guests of honor at the Brussels Book Fair. What was it, 2 years ago? And there was great unity there. It was wonderful to see.
Yeah. And on the other hand, we also cooperate very well with our Dutch colleagues in Holland. We were a guest of honor in Frankfurt, I think now 5 or 6 years ago, which also has been very productive because there we share the same language.
Excellent.
And soon we're going to be going on to watch the video of the actual winners being announced. As I said, we showcased the video last week of the shortlisted authors from each country. I think I'd just like to recap on which countries are participating this year. Rudy, I don't know if you have that to hand or you'd like me to read that out.
I don't have it at heart, so if you can help me say that.
I will. So first up, we've got Belgium, and it's French speaking. Then we have Bosnia and Herzegovina, followed by Croatia, then Cyprus, Denmark, Estonia, Germany, Kosovo, Luxembourg, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Norway, and Spain. So those are the 13 participating countries for this year.
Yeah. I'm quite thrilled to learn how is won because I don't have a clue. It's new for me as well.
Well, I think 15 seconds. I think everybody should be turning their heads to their screen. I don't know if maybe you were looking at doing something, but here is the announcement. Here they are in 10 seconds. I don't know if you have to have a drum roll. Do you usually have a drum roll when you do this?
We should hire a Madonna.
And it's announcing now. I don't know if we're supposed to have music with this. Maybe we could, Chopin or Mozart or Schubert.
It's great that we're seeing the publisher name as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and the original language.
Especially if it's a publishers federation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there we go.
There we go.
Congratulations to all the laureates.
Yeah, I'm excited. Most of them I don't know, so there you see, it's really getting to know new authors, and I definitely want to congratulate every laureate together with the Booksellers Association and the Writers Association, with Publishers United. We're thrilled to meet each other at the 29th of September in Brussels, and after that throughout Europe, let's hope.
We keep our fingers crossed, and we'll also keep an eye out for the announcement for the call for entries for next year's prize as well, and we can announce that on Publishers Without Borders as well, so that the countries that are participating next year, publishers can start to think about who they might submit to the juries for the prize for next year. We keep our fingers crossed for the ceremony later on this year in Brussels. Very much hope that that can go ahead, and look forward to seeing what promotions can happen throughout the year of these amazing laureates, and hopefully people will want to pick up these for translation into their own languages as well. So Rudy, thank you very much for joining us. It's been great to get to know the Federation of European Publishers. Great to be here to see the winners, and wish you well during this period.
Okay, thanks for having me, and see you
Rudy.
later.
Yeah, it was great.
Thanks, Rudy.
Thanks, Emma. Well, that was fun. That was impressive.